It's vinyl finds time. Check out what I've added into my record collection. Hey guys and gals, it's Hannah the Omaha Introvert. I'm back with a classic vinyl finds episode. I haven't done one of these in a while, so let's talk about what records I have picked up recently. These are in no order or preference, but I am starting off with a few heavy hitters, so let's begin. The first is Velvet Underground Loaded. This is from 1970, but this is a 2020 European reissue on Cotillion. Right there, I picked this up at Grapefruit Records. I think this pressing sounds pretty great. I will never get an early press, so I went with the repress route on this one, and I've wanted this in the collection for quite some time. I also like the cover art of this LP. Just don't ask me to rank like the Velvet Underground albums, because sometimes my favorite is this one, sometimes it's Velvet Underground and Nico, or sometimes it could be their self-titled. Like I can't choose. But if you're a newbie to Velvet Underground, this could be like a more accessible and friendly place to start. This is more pop. The first 3 tracks are superb, right? Who Loves the Sun, Sweet Jane, Rock and Roll, and then it ends with Oh Sweet Nothing. Just classic songs that I'm sure you've heard at least 1 or 2 of them. So I'm glad this is now in my collection. And then another pretty common record, this is U2's War. It's kind of weird I didn't have it in my collection before. Most people know this one, so I won't spend too much time on it. I really like early U2. When they came out with Joshua Tree, that's kind of where I lost interest, and I pass on that album. I don't like it, but I do love like their first 3 albums. I think they're like excellent post-punk, new wave, just a great sound. This is their 3rd full-length record. This is the first US press, I believe. It's on this Island label. Incredible guitar sounds on this record from The Edge. I love his style. 2 huge hits from this one, Sunday Bloody Sunday and New Year's Day, which I both love. The only song I probably don't really care for is Red Light, but like that's probably the weakest track in my opinion, but this is just solid early U2, so had to pick that one up. I'm also missing October, so I'll grab that one eventually, I'm sure. Next we have The Selector. This is very strong British ska, their first album. I think they only did 2 albums and then they broke up, but then they reunited again in the 90s, I believe. So this is maybe a bit darker than some of the other ska bands that came out. This is on Chrysalis. So Pauline Black, she's just an amazing singer and artist. I think she has an autobiography out there. But yeah, check the back. There is some water damage on the back. There is a demonstration not for sale stamp, but I got this for a pretty good price, and I found it locally too, which was very cool. So let's see, check out the songs: Missing Words, Too Much Pressure, Murder, They Make Me Mad. This is really good. So I picked up 4 LPs by Real Estate. I bought them from a Facebook like selling group, and I got all 4 of these for like about $50, which I thought was really good. So the only one I'm still missing is, out of their studio albums, is In Mind from 2017. But the rest of their full-length albums I have right here, so it was kind of like an instant Real Estate collection. They were from New Jersey. The best way to describe them is that they have like a breezy, jangly indie pop sound, I guess. Like kind of chill for the most part, like good vibes. And I remember listening to this debut at work when I was a legal assistant. So like when I wasn't transcribing, boring deposition summaries or doing trial preparation or scheduling or typing out pleadings, I would listen to this album a lot. Like I'd play this frequently. So it's nice to own this one on vinyl now. And the rest of these I picked up are also very good. So I also got Days. This one was from 2011. This one, however, I think this is my favorite of the bunch. This one's called Atlas, and this was released in, gosh, it doesn't say. I want to say it was like 2014. So this one would probably be like the biggest crowd pleaser or the most accessible. and it's like the strongest album. So the harmonies, the guitars, it's simply excellent. And then the last one I got in the bunch is The Main Thing, and this is from 2020. Gatefold. I guess I didn't show the gatefold on In Days, but yeah, Instant Real Estate Collection. We're going all the way to New Zealand for this one. This band is Straight Jacket Fits. This is their album Hail. This is a reissue from this year, and this is just a beautiful, dreamy, jangly record. There's like very lush textures. It's on Flying Nun. Yeah, I didn't even know this was reissued until I went down to Grapefruit, and I swear you guys, they have the best stuff. If you're ever in Omaha, Grapefruit Records, Simon Joyner, it's his record store. He's usually in there. He's cool. Michael, he's another guy that's always in there helping to run the shop. They know their stuff, and they have like just a great selection. This record, if you're a Leonard Cohen fan, which I am not, but they have a cover of So Long Marianne on here that's actually quite good. Also check out the song She Speeds. This is underrated stuff right here. Straight Jacket Fits with Hail. It's kind of cool. I found this one. I got this off of eBay. It wasn't an auction. It was just at a great price. So this is Helios Creed with his album Lactating Purple. This is an original US press. It's on Amphetamine Reptile Records. So, yeah, this came out in 1991. If you're unfamiliar with Helios Creed, he was a founding member of Chrome. Chrome were a very unique group who dabbled in punk, and also they used like a lot of synthesizers and tape loops. They were pretty ahead of their time. This would probably be a good place to start from his catalog. It's pretty consistent throughout. This is described as space rock / cyberpunk, so be ready for it. It takes you for a crazy ride. Really like this record here, and I kind of want to get some more of his stuff now. Next we have a band called Green Pajamas, and this is a reissue of their LP Summer of Lust from 1984. This is very lo-fi, neo-psychedelia, power pop, plenty of hooks. Kind of sounds like demos, but that's perhaps part of the charm too. And this is a band that originally penned Kim the Waitress, by the way, which Material Issue later covered, and they had a hit with. By the way, if you've been missing out on the Material Issue reissues, then I'm sorry, but I now have their first, or they reissued International Pop Overthrow, and then the other one, I just had it displayed in my 90s video, Freak City Soundtrack. So, those have been reissued like within the last year. I don't know if Freak City Soundtrack is still available, but yeah, that's a little tidbit there that this band wrote Kim the Waitress, and I love what the guys at Grapefruit Records wrote on here. It says the best psychedelic power pop breakup record of all time. Sometimes they like write little notes, and that's like spot on. So yeah, kind of rough. It sounds like demos, but yeah, just very charming power pop with like a psych feel to it. Green Pajamas. This is a band from San Francisco. This is a comp, by the way. They were pioneers of synth punk, so it's like punk with keyboards. And I think the Screamers were another band that were kind of doing something similar. So call it synth punk, new wave, whatever you want. This is pretty mind-blowing stuff, especially for that time. So as you can see on here, like F the guitars, like they're all about not using guitars. So yeah, I would say check out the songs Cannibals, Warm Moving Bodies, High Pressure Days. You really just have to hear this for yourself. Like, this is an incredibly innovative band. Like, my pathetic little review here doesn't do it justice, you know? So take my word and look into them further. Like, they're from the late 70s, early 80s. Okay, some really cool pickups that I actually found these two within the last week. So I found two records by the Waterboys, and the Waterboys, like, their records are incredibly hard to find, at least around here. I found a copy of This Is the Sea earlier this year at a Dallas record show, but I found this downtown. It was at a store that I don't usually have luck at, so that was really cool, and they surprised me. So I found this one and the next one. This is their first album, self-titled. It was released in 1983. This has been described as part Van Morrison, part U2. A Girl Named Johnny is actually dedicated to Patti Smith, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like a tribute to her. I also love the song Savage Earth Heart, the last track. So this is good, but like the greatness will come later. And this is on Chrysalis, US Press. So nice to be surprised once in a while when you're out digging, you know. It seems like it doesn't happen too often for me anymore, just because the vinyl craze, it's still like out of control. People are very interested in this hobby right now. And I came into it like in 2018, so it was just kind of like gaining some major steam, and now it's just like I'm having to buy a lot of my stuff online because you just don't see it out there anymore. But then again, I'm into some weird, maybe obscure stuff. Anyway, I also found Fisherman's Blues. And this is the album that came out after This Is the Sea. So this is a 1988 LP, US Press. This is different from anything they've done prior. It's kind of like a blend of folk, Irish music, Scottish music, country, and some rock. This is an album where I listen to it and I'm taken somewhere else completely. And it's also an album that I fall in love with more and more each time I spin it. It's really amazing musicianship here. I mean, if you love music, you gotta hear this. So, We Will Not Be Lovers, that's a killer tune. The Stolen Child, I mean, this just blows me away. So the Waterboys lucked out by finding those two LPs. Oh yeah, so Just Mustard. Now I meant to show another CD. Let me go ahead and grab it. Well, that kind of sucks. I think my Just Mustard CD is in the car. So I'll just show their latest. This is a band from Ireland. They've been touring with Fontaines DC, whom I also love their new album so much. It's tops. I actually prefer their first album, which is in my car. It's on CD. It's called Wednesday, and they had vinyl copies of that one available for the first time in a long while, like 2 months ago. I opted for the CD though because overseas shipping kind of sucks. But they're like a blend of post-punk, indie, and shoegaze. I just think the debut has more bite. But here's their second album, Heart Under. I love it too. If you like Alison Shaw from Cranes, that's what this singer sounds like, almost identical. This album is a little more sparse than the first. It's good, but I do lose a bit of interest. However, the sound is consistent throughout. So check out Just Mustard from Ireland. Great newish band. I want to show Liars, and this is their second album. Pretty wild to find this locally, and I found it at a store down in Lincoln that just closed this past August, which is a bummer. They were called Lefties. I also have On Fire in the collection. This is one of the best 80s garage rock bands for sure. I think they were from Boston. This is very melodic stuff, Kinks inspired. So this is on Ace of Hearts Records. Just killer to find this one. So if you like garage stuff from the 80s, check out Liars. It's Lyres. Okay, lastly, I wanted to show, I picked up a CD box set. This is the House of Love box set. I love this band. I know I've talked about their first album on my channel before, but it's been a while since I brought them up. I'm just really excited about this. In fact, I just got it in the mail and I thought I would do a little unboxing of it. So this is a Cherry Red CD box set, just released this year. It has like 139 tracks over 8 CDs. I think I only paid like $30 some for this because I went on Get Import CDs on eBay, and if you spend over $65, you get 20% off. But what a great deal for this. So you get 3 albums with B-sides, rarities, demos, 2 CDs of live material. Babe Rainbow is included in this, and I think that's like a really underrated album of theirs. Okay, so you open this up and so yeah, the CDs are just in the cardboard sleeves like this, and they just slide out like that. So yeah, a nice compact set. If you have this, like, please share your thoughts below on what you think of it. Personally, I want to know what the sound quality is like on this, because Cherry Red is like hit or miss with their mastering. Like, they're not always the best when it comes to remastering. So how does this measure up on that front is what I want to know. So I'll just show these really quick. Oh, you get a nice booklet. That's always a plus. Booklet with photos. I'm gonna have fun reading this. Yeah, so, and by the way, this covers the Fontana years from 1989 to 1993. So you get their Butterfly album. You get Babe Rainbow. And all of these have bonus tracks too, by the way, which is really nice. Audience of the Mind, I have not heard this album from them yet. And that's part of the reason I wanted to get this. I wanted to hear all the extras and the live stuff. A Spy in the House of Love. Haven't heard that one either. Spy in the House of Love Part 2. So it looks like these are like acoustic mixes, promo mixes, B-sides. Spy in the House of Love Part 3. I'm kind of losing my voice again, you guys. My apologies. Live at Leicester Polytechnic, 1990. And then Live in London to New York. So 1991 and 1992. What an awesome set. Love the House of Love. That price was too good, so I just had to get it. Lastly, and I'm just going to be showing this and not talking about it, but this is a huge killer addition to my collection. American Music Clubs, California. This was released in 1988. This is one of my favorite releases by them, and I found a great price on Discogs. So this will be featured in my either top 100 or top 200 albums of the 1980s. Would you guys prefer me to just go all out and do 200, or should I condense it down further and just do a top 100? And of course, I would split those into separate videos, like maybe covering 20 albums at a time. Just kind of let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm slowly working on that list and narrowing things down. It's really tough. But and also, like I said, I'm reserving a bunch of punk pickups for the next video if there's any interest. I do believe many of you like punk here, and I've come to really enjoy punk a lot more in the last maybe 3 years. So yeah, I have that in the works as well. Let me know what you think of these recent additions to my music collection. That's always growing. We're all in the same boat, right? Thank you so much for watching as always. I'll see you next time.